backstage how things were going, and you were pretty hyped to be here in Minneapolis.
It's cool, man. I went to the mall yesterday for the first time. I've never been there. I know you guys are completely over it. But for me, it's a small town. That thing is huge, man. And I didn't even see it all. And I kind of went there, and some people were like, you know, what's funny too is like, you know, a lot of celebrities, if you call them celebrities, whatever, they'll wear a hat or sunglasses on, which brings more attention to you, right? So it's like, that's not the thing to do. I didn't do that. I'm just saying, I did have on a hat, but I had on a bozo nose. So.
Okay. The fake mustache and everything. Yeah.
But it's been fun, man. Minneapolis has been very fun. It's I went to a nice Thai restaurant. Man, that's some of the best Thai food ever, dude. They're paying me to say that too. No. It was really good. It was really good Thai food. And people are just down there. I'm originally from Detroit, so I'm like not that far from here, man. So I love Midwest. Just normal, just down to earth. What, this is the Midwest? This is the Midwest? What you guys want?
No, go out to LA. If you think you're not normal here, go out that way.
Well, it's just regular folks, you know what I mean? So it's just, I love that. And I didn't expect it to be so much cosplay here in Minneapolis. I mean, people are dressed up, and it's like San Diego Comic-Con. Like,
I will state that...
This is all you got. It's dope though, man. I mean, you guys came out dressed. It's cool.
I've been lucky. I've been part of Wizard World for a couple years, ever since we started coming to Minneapolis. And last year and this year, I get to host the costume contest. And I will say on the tour, and I don't say this just to say this is one of the most creative cities on our tour every year.
Yeah. I can believe that. Yeah, I can definitely believe that. People have come out very, very creative and very bold. Just came out like, yeah, this is what I do. Like this is what we do. Like, wow, Minneapolis, putting it down.
We'll see if there's competition this year. I don't know how many of you guys have returned from year to year. Maybe saw the last couple of years of the costume contest. The same guy has been our best in show 2 years in a row.
Oh, really?
Inspector Gadget 2 years ago, and then Lumiere last year.
Same dude?
Same guy.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
How was Inspector Gadget? I mean, that's like crazy.
Outstanding. He could make the propeller move, and
he had a motorized?
Yeah.
What?
I tell you, this city is amazing.
Wow. Is he here now?
I don't know.
I mean, not here in the audience, but is he here?
We should be here right now, so.
I know, right? His arrow, hello. But no, that's dope, man. No, just people are very creative, so it's great. So I saw the mall. I was gonna leave tonight and get to Detroit for Mother's Day, but whatever.
Heart's just melted in the audience.
I am gonna go. But tomorrow morning, because like I said, it's literally an hour and a half flight. It's a very quick flight, and so I think I'm gonna get on an early flight tomorrow and stay here tonight and just kind of see what else is happening in Minneapolis. And I gotta see Paisley Park. I gotta see that just to see it, because obviously you gotta see it. And I don't know. I asked a couple other people. They're like, "Have you seen Paisley Park?" I said, "No." Have you been to the mall? I said, "Yes." They're like, "Well, you've done half of the things you have to do." So that's it. That's my own story. Thank you. Good night.
I'll agree with that. You said you grew up in Detroit. I grew up not far from you in Toledo, Ohio.
Toledo, Ohio.
And I was a kid, 8 or 9 years old, and we took a family trip to the Mall of America.
Yeah.
So you, again, may not be a big deal to you, but...
Oh yeah, they don't care. They're so over it. Like, we're talking about it like, it's the Mall of America, dude! And they're like, whatever.
There's an amusement park. Get inside.
Exactly. There's an aquarium in the basement, homie. And they're like, whatever, man. Give us some Arrow spoilers, whatever. Well, who dies next? Well, I hope you don't like Felicity.
Or anybody. He's the only one that survives.
Or anybody. I'm the only one that survives and I become Arrow.
There was a a lot of rumors since you debuted on the show that you were going to be this superhero, you were going to be this character, that character. Is there any that maybe you wanted to come true, or maybe?
I wanted the one everyone thought was going to come true. Jon Stewart, right? I mean, that's the one. But it's funny. Some of the fans know because they stopped by the table, and I just say it, and it's not that big of a secret. But that was kind of the intentions of some of the producers. Not everybody. Listen, the producers had their own idea of where they kind of wanted to take the show. There's a lot of red tape and a lot of politics in filmmaking, particularly when you're dealing with things that are potential franchises. And so every time we get a character, there's DC has to like approve it, then approve it, then approve it. I mean, we even had there was I think 2 seasons ago there was a Suicide Squad episode we were doing, and there was a shot of Harley Quinn, right? And it was a thing in the script, like she had a scene and some moments, and it got whittled down to just showing her back and just hearing her voice, because by the time it got through the channels, it was like, there's some other things we want to do with that character, and this is all you can do with it. Another case in point was in the wedding I had last season, I think with Lila, the second time around we got married, and Ray Palmer officiated the wedding. Dude, the script originally said, "Do you, John Diggle Stewart, take Lila whatever Michaels?" This is on the day, guys. This happened on the day. It said John Diggle Stewart, and then it got changed to John S. Diggle, and then it got changed just to Diggle. Right? By the time it was all over, it was like Diggle. But my point is that it is what it is. I mean, but there's a lot of there's a lot of yeses that you have to kind of go through for any of this to get approved, let alone someone as large as Green Lantern. So the producers have gone on record to say that right now the John Diggle character is not John Diggle Stewart, but things change. I mean, I don't think they knew from the outset that Canary was going to die. I mean, who knew that? So, with that spoiler, you guys didn't know that? Well, where you been, girl? Oh, that's good timing. Good timing. So things change. I mean, nobody knew Emily and Steven's chemistry would be off the charts, right? No one knew that. I mean, so it's, I think they do have an outset, they do have a game plan, and then things happen. The audience has a lot to do with that. The audience really reacted to the Diggle character, and then he became part of the actual comic book. That's directly because of what you guys did.
Congratulations on that.
That's you guys really responded to that character, and they listened. So it just, I think they have a plan, and then it's a loose plan, and there's a lot that influences that plan, the least of which is the audience input, and clearly what DC has to say about things.
Well, again, congratulations on inspiring a comic character. How does that feel that your character that you've brought to life inspired a comic character?
Well, that's cool, man, because it's like now, like 10 years from now, someone can play Diggle, and it's like, wow, man, I started that.
Someone's playing you.
Like someone's playing me. I'm the dude playing the dude. But it's cool, man. That's starting here. But man, this whole thing blew up. I mean, I don't think it's any, and this is no pat on my back, because I'm only part of this thing, man. I'm an actor wanting work like any other actor, and I got a break. So, but no one saw this coming, dude. I mean, like Arrow spins off into Flash, spins off into Legends. I don't think it's any small thing that Marvel came right off S.H.I.E.L.D. came right off the heels of that, and Gotham came from that, and they're talking about a Teen Titans thing. You guys don't print that everywhere now that I said that. Talking.
Ramsey
I've heard rumors only. So
They'll edit that out.
I know, exactly. Ramsey said that he's starring as... I knew what I was going. I didn't even say that. See, they finish it for you. That's kind of dope, though. I saw, and I'm looking forward to that with Batman vs Superman with the whole cyborg thing.
You are all over this.
I know, which is cool. I like that audience participation. Yeah, what was my thought? What was I saying?
About being inspiring comic character.
Was I talking about that?
At one point.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it is. It does feel great, man, to know that, you know, someplace in the future, you know, someone else is playing Diggle when it started here. So it's flattering. It's humbling. That makes sense. I did not think that it would be the Black Canary, particularly because the Black Canary has so much backstory, right? And I know the producers have gone on record and said she won't be coming back, and I know Steven has also said that. But, and obviously I can't argue that because these guys are much smarter than I am. They know where the story's going. It's just that if the past is any reflection on what could happen, it's like all this stuff, there are no absolutes, right? Like I said, who knew Canary would die? Who knew Emily and Steven? Like, who knew this stuff would happen? So, and now with the Flash, it's Earth 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, how many Earths are there?
An infinite number.
And I mean, I don't know if the story's gonna go this way or not, but you know the what's the graphic novel? The Superman's gone rogue. Injustice. And there's a in the earlier, I don't know what volume it's up to now, but in the earlier issues, Superman kills Green Arrow, right? And there's a moment where he hits Canary with a beam, with one of his fire beams. She's bleeding out, and then Dr. Fate comes, right? You guys know this story, and takes her to Earth whatever, where Green Arrow is alive and Canary's dead, and hooks them back up together. And I'm just like, you know, and if you see Batman versus Superman, you clearly see that injustice is the way the story's going. So it's just, you know, I don't ever believe anybody's dead. That's just what I think, because you just never know where these stories are going, particularly with someone like Flash who can stop time, redo things, and Earth 1, 2 through infinity. It's just, you know, so I don't know. So yeah, so if Diggle dies, then Diggle will come back as Green Lantern, who knows?
Don't rule it out, that's what he's saying.
Don't rule it out.
Now do you think Gotham is a part of this multiverse, as it's called?
I don't know. I mean, again, there's so much politics to play in this stuff. That's not a Greg Berlanti show, right? But neither was Constantine, and he ended up being on our show. So, man, I don't know. These guys, like, you say, no, that'll never happen, and then it happens. So it's just, I don't know. I don't know if Gotham, I always wonder, like, where's Bruce Wayne? I've said it on a panel before, like, I would love for those two billionaires to get together, right? Like Bruce Wayne and Oliver Queen, and it's like, have a little standoff. Not Batman, I don't want to see Batman, just Bruce Wayne.
Just let the egos go.
Exactly, or is Bruce Wayne a kid? You know what I mean? And he's in Gotham and his parents just died and we hear about it because they were billionaires in Gotham. You know, I would love to hear that. But, you know, again, the producers have gone on record and said there are two cities you won't hear about on our show, and that's Metropolis and Gotham City. Who knows? You know, it's also just season 4. So if we do season 12 like Supernatural, then, you know, Wonder Woman and Martian Manhunter will be there. Who knows?
And Easter eggs are great, but at the same time, they can be very distracting when you mention that. What? Easter eggs, like when you mention Gotham City on Arrow, you may miss a plot point because you're too busy thinking about, oh, Gotham City, oh my God, it's in this universe. And
right, exactly. I mean, I just don't know, man. I mean, I guess, you know, they explain it away. I don't know. It's so many infinite possibilities now. And I guess that's really the point, right? Is that you just keep everybody guessing. And the writers are so smart, man. And they're geeks, which is awesome. You know, Andrew Kreisberg and Mark Guggenheim, they're geeks. Amongst the other writers, you know, they're the lead guys. And so, you know, you got a lot of good story coming. There'll be no shortage of stories. And there'll be more crossovers next year. There'll be, you know, and so they have a, you know, and CW, you know, you say this now, but I think if the past is any reflection, they have a tendency of kind of letting their shows go and giving them a lot of run. So, and if Arrow follows that same paradigm, if Legends follows it, Flash follows it, they continue to write well. They'll go until you guys stop watching, you know, and let them know you're tired of it. I think.
We'll get to your question in just a moment. Thank you for your patience. Wanna ask your thoughts on the Supergirl situation. Supergirl not yet renewed on CBS, and there's a lot of rumors that it may get moved to the CW.
Wouldn't that be great?
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, okay. It would be great if it gets renewed, period. That's the first thing, okay? If it does not, for whatever reason, moves to CW, that's great. And if they went up there and shot in Vancouver, I know the actors don't want to do that, they wouldn't want to stay in LA, but if they went up there and shot in Vancouver, that'd be all 4 shows up there, just crossing over. Because literally, Flash is literally on the other side of that wall. Like, that's how we shoot. Like, the set is right there. We share a wall on the stage, and their other set is literally across a driveway across. So it's very much a family, and so yeah, man. I mean, that'd be awesome. But who knows? Who knows what happened?
Family or not, do you like spray paint Flash sucks, Arrow rules, or anything?
No, I can say it right here and open. Flash sucks. Don't get that. Flash is awesome. You know, it's funny too because Flash is like when we do the crossovers. You go over to Flash, and they're all happy. You know what I mean? Like literally, the set is brighter. Like Grant is like, yeah, Daddy, what's up? Like he's all happy and everybody's joking and breakdancing. No, I'm kidding, not breakdancing. But they're all happy and the set and the lights are different. And you go over to Arrow.
They're all miserable.
And I mean, we have fun, but the set is literally dark. And we're shooting at night. I swear, the Flash actors, they shoot 8, 9, 10, 11 hours. We shoot 14, 16 hours. Like, it's just crazy, man. The difference between the shows, they do a great job of just making it look different, you know? So it's a great job with the writing and producers, too.
In Arrow, Diggle and Oliver Queen kind of have this brotherly relationship, and my question is, as you and Stephen and Mel, do you kind of have that relationship bleed through with each other?
We do. Stephen and I are very close. I hate him. No. We're super cool, man. I mean, everybody in panels, I mean, if me, I don't know if we would get through 3 or maybe 5 questions of just me and Stephen on this panel. If me and Stephen and John Barrowman went on this panel, it just wouldn't happen, baby. It just wouldn't happen. But no, we're really tight, and but you have to be though. I mean, because we don't have to be, but it helps. You're working that many hours that you like each other, and the chemistry really between me, Stephen, and Emily is genuine. That's a genuine chemistry, and there's no there's no small reason. That's why that really appears on television, why you really have kind of connected to those 3, because it's genuine. So yeah, we're close. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
As kind of a newer character with Diggle, he doesn't really have any like real full-on like cool uniform, like maybe like Arrow, Canary, and all them. So do you ever get a little bit jealous that maybe Cisco with the crossover does a little more work giving them cooler uniforms and you just kind of have a mask?
Well, that's a messed up question, isn't it? It's kind of messed up. Yo, dude, I mean, like, you don't have a uniform, like, you just got a helmet. What's on? Like, are you upset about that?
No,
you mad? You ain't got no leather pants, man. Well, Not really jealous, no. I can say this, that the thing, you know, man, we talked long and hard about what Diggle could wear tactically in this universe. Oh, by the way, we have a new helmet coming next season. Yeah. It'd be a Cisco creation. There was a crossover episode we did with King Shark, and then there's a moment when I'm leaving kind of their headquarters, and then Cisco's like, yo, how's the helmet? And I'm like, I used some modifications. He said, I'm working on it. So that's going to be a story point next season for Diggle. There'll be a new helmet. So, no, I mean, you know, we talk long and hard. I mean, whatever Diggle wears, it has to be kind of tactical and urban. And, you know, so we kind of decided on this kind of camouflage, some guns, the leather, there's Kevlar. And so I'm not really upset about that. I'm not upset about the helmet either, but, you know, there was some Magneto-esque things happening with the helmet. You know what's funny, too, is that I didn't see it at first. Like when I first saw it, like when the producer showed it to me, I was like, yeah, that's okay, that's all right, that's all right. And then when people were like, yo, dude, that looks like Magneto's helmet, I was like, it does! You know what I mean? I was like, it kind of does, and it kind of like M going on right there. And I was like, dude, this is no longer how.
Do that.
Oh man, thanks for that.
So I was wondering how you kind of got into that, like, mindset for that.
Some repressed feelings.
Some repressed feelings, for example. You know, speaking of that, there was a moment a very nice moment, where I'm dealing with my brother. This is some episodes ago, maybe 6 episodes ago or so, maybe a little less. Where me and Laurel Lance have a moment in the convention hall, and we talk about the fact that my brother's alive again, and I have a very sensitive moment as she comforts me over bourbon, whatever we're drinking. And bam, James Bamford came up and said, you're not talking about Andy. You're talking about your 5-year-old son. Right? So I used that moment, and there was a lot of real action that came, real emotion that came out of that. By the time we got to the point where Andy was dead, there was such rich backstory that we made that I really didn't have to recall a personal moment or substitute a personal affection that I had toward anyone like a mother or father or son, because there was real backstory that I could draw on, that I've been working on for weeks now about my brother. So by the time I saw my brother dead, that was really happening. Like, this was really my brother. I did not have to think, oh, that's really my father. I have to imagine. I didn't have to use some techniques actors use where you kind of try to make, you know, substitute things and stuff like that. Because by that time, we really had made a very rich backstory for Diggle, which was great. Because that's the stuff you really want as an actor, right? You want a nice amount of time to sink your teeth in the character, so you don't have to draw on these really kind of terrible things, right? Because you have this rich backstory that the writers have given you. So for that scene, didn't need anything at all. That was my brother. Yeah.
Good question.
Yeah.
Regimen required for all the fight scenes. They look so awesome.
Oh, thanks. What's the workout regimen for the fight scenes?
Like, how do you build up to know what to do and stuff?
I see. We're not doing any of it. I'm kidding. Well, you know what's funny is that I was just telling somebody else this. It's the way that it's there's no set regimen, because sometimes we do it all. Okay? And then sometimes our stunt actors are doing it 90%. Most of the time it's us. I would even go as far as to say 95% of the time it's us. If you see a flip, someone's going through a wall, it's not us. That's a stunt, okay? Because there's a fight choreography that's important to the show, and then there's a stunt choreography that's important to the show. So the stunt stuff we're not usually doing. We do a lot of the fight choreography. But if, for example, me and Steven had a stick fighting scene just recently in one of the episodes, and he and I had not practiced together. So there's a guy who plays my stunt, there's a guy who plays Steven's stunt, but he and I had practiced separately, me and Steven, but not together. Okay? So in an effort to save time so he and I don't have to practice together because he's doing 16-hour days and I'm doing 12-hour days and we just didn't have time, what James Banford would do, for example, is on my coverage, meaning when the camera's looking at me and I have the sticks and the camera is on Steven's back, that's not Steven, for example. That will be his stunt, right? Because his stunt knows all the stuff and we can go through it very quickly in an effort to save time. And the same thing in reverse. For example, then there are other times when, like, there's a scene where I have to climb these stairs and knock people down the stairs, Diggle does. I didn't know that stuff because I was working a 12-hour day yesterday, and the day before that was 10, the day before that was 8, and I didn't have time to rehearse it. So they shot on a long lens, Diggle running up the stairs doing this fight scene, and it wasn't me. You follow me? So it just depends on what it is in terms of whether it's us or not.